Welcome back to the channel and thanks for joining me in episode 4 of day 3 of my Yellowstone trip. So I split the episodes into two parts for day 3, episode 3 and episode 4. And this is episode 4, which basically covers my journey from Lake McDonald all the way down to Helena. In this part of the trip, the scenery and landscape changes dramatically from green forests and pine trees to wide open spaces and the prairie of Montana. It was probably the most dramatic change in landscape I have ever seen in a single day. I decided to head towards East Glacier and then towards Browning and then the open fields of Montana. You can see that the landscape has already changed dramatically, flattening out with the mountains kind of more recessed into the distance.
Okay, just heading out of West Glacier. Helena is another 300 kilometers, which is 2 hours 53 minutes if I go non-stop. I should be there by 5:43. So, not bad. That's fairly good timing. Why is it so dark? You know, it's only 2:50 p.m. so not sure why it's so dark. It's cloudy. There was a big difference from what I can see in the landscape. Look now, over there at the back, if you see, it's all forest and mountains, right? And over here is all prairie, but it's extremely dry.
So East Glacier was absolutely flat and you could see the mountains in the distance, but this is where kind of everything kind of opens out and you can see the prairie in the distance, and it's wide open from here onwards. It's all cattle ranches and basically grazing fields as far as the eye can see in both directions as you go south towards Helena.
It's been an interesting day. What I would say is, headed out from Pincher Creek. I thought it was amazing. The ride from Pincher Creek to the border was like wilderness, like totally empty. There was nobody there. Like, Canada is really true wilderness, and you can sense it when you're there for sure. Anyway, then from there, kind of like got to St. Mary, crossed the border, got to St. Mary. St. Mary is entrance, like I always say, like entrance to the Glacier National Park from the east entrance. Went up Glacier National Park, up the, going to the Sun Road, and I mean, it was nice, I'm not going to say that, but it wasn't great, you know. I felt it's overrated, to be honest. I was expecting a lot more from it, but I was just disappointed to see that it didn't have much to offer other than just it was a very narrow road, and but too much traffic, too many people on the weekend. Even the location, like, okay, you just get to Logan Pass and like if you go fast, you can get there. Oh, it's a GS bike. You can get to Logan Pass in like probably 20 minutes from St. Mary, and then you go down from there on the other side to Western Glacier. And again, it was nicer on the western side, but again, it's too many people, too much traffic. I didn't enjoy it. I was like, this is like painful, man. Like a road driving over here in first, second gear on a motorcycle, it's awful. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. To be honest, don't come to going to the Sun Road. It's just not worth it. There are far better roads elsewhere. I mean, you want to ride on a road which is like maximum of like 10k speed, 15k on a motorcycle, and for like an hour and a half, it's not worth it. So my recommendation is just skip Glacier. On the bike you're going to keep moving, right? That's the whole idea. This was like disappointing. Anyway.
So this is Browning, Montana, and from here, of course, you kind of take a turn south towards Helena. I actually crossed quite a few cattle ranches, and there was a lot of livestock around, and you see a lot of grazing and all that stuff happening. It's pretty cool. I was in complete awe of Montana. For me, it was a unique experience, something I have never ever experienced before. Just wide open as far as the eye can see, and yet you have this beautiful golden color. I guess this is where fields of gold come from, the term fields of gold, because as far as the eye can see, you just see beautiful brown golden fields. So if you're headed south on Highway 89, I would recommend taking a slight detour, hooking a right onto Highway 200, and from there, headed south, take a left turn to get onto what I would say is the Fisher Pass Road, and this is where you enter the thick of the forest, the Helena Forest area, and the roads over here are really amazing. It's like twisting and turning, and you get these amazing views on one side. It's kind of a little bit arid in some points, but some points as you go higher up and climb up the pass, it gets kind of like more forested, and you get amazing vistas all around you. I would highly recommend Fisher Pass to anybody who's headed in this direction. You can easily miss the turning because it's not like a major kind of intersection, but if you can find it, this road is amazing, and it's one of the best roads that I kind of ridden on in this area. So I'm still climbing to get to the top of Fisher Pass, and the views just keep getting better all around you, and you see these amazing vistas. Of course, the road is like super quiet. There's no cars around you. You can go a little faster if you want, a little more thrill. The roads are great, and they've been designed in such a way that you never feel like you're going too fast. It's just enough curb and turn without giving you the feeling that you're going to tip the bike, or you're going to you're going too fast. And just look at those views all around on the left side. It's just, I just couldn't help looking over my shoulder every once in a while, and I was just like mind blowing. It was just so beautiful. Riding in the Helena National Forest area was a true pleasure, and I would love to do it again someday. Finally made it to the top of Fisher Pass, and from here, of course, the road starts to go downhill. But man, oh man, what a ride this was. This was like, yeah, of course, amazing. From here, it's all the way downhill. Just keep going down, 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 down towards eventually Helena. You kind of like reconnect to the highway, which comes down south. So this was a little detour I took, and I have absolutely no regret taking this detour. If you like this video and my channel in general, please hit like and subscribe, and please feel free to leave a comment, and if you need any help or tips, I'm happy to chime in. Thanks a lot. Good evening from Helena, Montana. I am in the Helena Valley, and you can see there, that's the Rocky Mountains. And otherwise everywhere else is wide open spaces. So anyway, the thing is that today was a really long ride, and across the US border started at, I want to say 8 o'clock, yeah, 8 p.m. and I now got here at 6:30. So 8 to 6:30 is about 10 hours of riding, 10.5 hours of riding. So it was a long ride. I mean, of course, lots of stops included, and the really slow traffic in Glacier National Park. So Glacier National Park, for me, just me, my opinion, not anybody else's, is a total disappointment. It's not what I was expecting. It's short, it's busy. You spend $30 to go through it, and all you encounter is people. And the views are nice, but they're not mind-blowing. They're not like just, wow. So, and it's so busy and congested, you can't even stop. If you want to stop, it's impossible, because I'm just talking about going to Sun Road. I'm not talking about the entire park. The park is different. I'm sure there's lots of wonderful trails and hikes everywhere. All that's great. But I'm just talking about, to be clear now, going to the Sun Road. Going to the Sun Road for me is a disappointment. Okay? I'm going to say it out loud, a disappointment. Other than that, finally found it took me like a couple of hours just to get out of there, and then actually drove through Montana south towards this place, and the road was like going through this, was up and down. It was massive prairie fields, but then you could see the mountains on the side. It was stunning. It was like, wow. The only problem is today is a very blustery, windy day, and I did not enjoy it and enjoy riding at all. It was very challenging and very tiring because you're constantly battling the wind for 4 hours. I was battling the wind ever since I left Glacier, so it was brutal. But yeah, I made it here, and then I took a little detour and went up Finlay Pass and in this Helena area, and it was amazing. It was probably the best highlight of the day today. So yeah, now I'm in Helena, all ready for tomorrow. And by the way, if you want to know and see what a Cybertruck looks like, here it is.